at the Istituto Lorenzo de Medici recently put a fresh spin on some of the most iconic films set in Florence. A number of world-famous films have been shot or partially set in Florence. Students in the LdM Department of Photography were to use some of the Tuscan capital's cinematic touchstones as a launch pad for their own creative projects, reinterpreting notable scenes from both classics and more contemporary movies, independent gems and Hollywood blockbusters. Some of the standout photographs were then selected for an exhibition and screening event held in the Chiesa San Jacopo in Campo Corbolini at LdM, organized in collaboration with the Department of Media Arts and Studies. Central to the project was the paradoxically dissonant and yet dynamic relationship between the real aspects of the city and the representation of it shown in fictional films. Students and their professor shared some insights about how this project came into being, as well as their own creative processes.
The movie that inspired my work is Inferno, and it just came out about like 2 years ago, and I just watched it for the first time this semester. And I loved the scene of them running through Boboli Garden, and I wanted to try to get a picture of just maybe like 1 or 2 people in Boboli instead of like the crowd that's normally there.
Inferno by Ron Howard inspired my project, and Joey as well, because we watched it together. And it's a really interesting movie and kind of goes through Florence and Florence is more of a backdrop in the film rather than kind of a character, I felt, because I'm a film student, so I'm really into it. And but they do a good job at kind of presenting Florence in the film as in the Renaissance era instead of currently with a lot of tourism and stuff, and I thought that was really interesting. And as they're going through these secret passages in the movie, when I went to the secret passages, it kind of just felt like I was back in the Renaissance as well, and it was very interesting to me. So I took a lot of pictures, especially in the Studiolo, which is Francesco I's like collection room with a bunch of cabinets, and it was really, really interesting. I just really enjoyed it, and it felt like I was pushed back into the 1500s. So yeah.
Cinema and photography, there are two related subjects. Considering that Florence has been the set of lots of movies from mainstream productions and independent productions, we thought that students could learn something more about the film history and about the town of Florence in general, and could, how can I say, reinterpret Florence through movies, but through their eyes too. And this is also a good exercise for a photographer. So these are the results.